Okay, so today we're going to look at surface area. So surface area is when you find the area of all the faces of a 3D object. So what we often do is we break up the object, like we split it, like we're going to flatten all of it, like flatten the side. So you take a 3D, we sort of cut it apart, and we're going to flatten it, and we find the areas of all those different sides, or faces we call them. So when you flatten it, so here you've got a cylinder here. They've got a picture of a cylinder, and here is what they often call it, the net diagram of a cylinder. So what that means is that it's the flattened picture, yeah? So what they've done is we've come along and we've cut down here and we've opened up that cylinder. So you can see here, this is the top of the cylinder, and what shape is that? Circle. A circle, good. And then we've got the bottom of the cylinder, and that's also a circle. Now this bit in here is like the middle section, okay? And when you see, what shape has the middle section become? Square. Or a rectangle, yeah? We don't know for sure if they're the same, so we're just going to say rectangle. So you can look at, when you try to find the total surface area of a cylinder, so when we are going to do that, so total, we call it total surface area, meaning we're adding up all the surface areas. So when we do total surface area of a cylinder, you can see we've got to we've got the top plus the bottom plus the middle part. Okay, so we said that this was two circles. So you can see what's the formula for area of a circle? Pi r squared. So you can see I've got, that would be a circle, plus this would be a circle. Then I've got the middle of the cylinder. So if you look, the cylinder, this side, we've got one side of it, which is actually the height. So you can see we've got the height. And then we've got this other edge of the cylinder, say going across here, that edge across the top. Now that would match up with the circumference, the edging of that circle. Would you agree? So this line here, if I drew a line along there, wouldn't it match along around that like that? Yeah. So that edge is the length of the circumference. And the way you find the circumference is 2 times pi times r. So this is actually, the middle bit is actually a rectangle. So how do you find the area of a rectangle? Good, you do length times width. So you can see we're going to say the width is the circumference there, and we're going to say the length is the height. So here you've got a formula for a total surface area of a cylinder. Okay, so we're going to just go have a look at our formula sheet, which is on the back of our note. Okay, so let's have a look. They've asked me to find the total surface area of this cylinder. So I would go to my formula sheet and I go, okay, I need the total surface area of a cylinder. I would have written down the formula, which was 2 times pi r squared plus 2 times pi times r times h. So then I go over to my diagram and I have a little look. So have they given me the radius? Yep. So anything from the center of the circle to the edge, from the center to the edge is the radius. And here, this is like, although it's like the cylinder is lying on its side. So we were going to call this bit the height of the cylinder, okay? So this is the middle bit in here. This would be the middle bit of the cylinder. We're going to double check that our units are the same, because that would stuff us up. And we'll just go and underline that we need to 1 decimal place. All right, so we're going to pop in now. We're going to write 2 times pi times the radius, which is 8.5, and we square that. So plus 2 times pi times the radius, what was the radius? It was 8.5. Times the height, which we are saying is 15.7. So what you're typing in on your calculator is this bit here. You write all that in your calculator. Okay. Yep. Okay, so we pop that answer in. Sorry, I've just pop that answer in. 1 decimal place, I got 1,292.5 centimeters squared. Okay? So because it's area, we have squared units. Okay, so boys, what I want to talk about is you have to be very careful with what the question's asking. So if they've asked you for example, they ask you to find the surface area of the outer surface of I'm just going to say a drinking glass, because this could be a scenario. So what we're going to say is we've got this drinking glass here. Okay, so this would be our drinking glass. So what they just want the outer surface of the glass. So if you think about it, we actually only have this middle bit, don't we? And we also have the base of the glass. So you don't have a top on that cylinder, do you? If you have a drinking glass, you don't have a top on it. So if you were going to go find this one's total surface area, it's going to be the middle plus that base. So we would actually be using just the middle bit, which was, remember, the 2 pi RH, yeah? Because that was 2 pi r, the length around the edge, times the height of it, plus we've only got one circle, which is pi r squared. So what I just did there, this bit is the green bit, that was the base, and this blue bit was the middle bit. So then you would go and find it that way. If they'll give you the radius and you would go find that. All right, so you might want to just draw in, that would be the radius and that would be the height. Okay, because that's a common question, so we're going to put that there. Is that what you meant? Yeah. Sorry. So we just calculated it. Okay, so here we've got a square base pyramid. So if we think we've got to find the total surface area, so the total surface area is when you get all the faces of it. So if you have a look at it, this pyramid has a triangle sides. How many triangle sides does it have? 4. So I'm going to say, all right, it's got 4 times the triangles, and I'll write underneath, these are the sides. Then we're going to have to add the square base. Okay, so if you think about it, if we're going to write out the formula for this, so we've got 4 times, what's our formula for area of a triangle? Yep, so we can say half times base times height. That's how we find the area of a triangle. So that's the area of a triangle formula. And then we're going to add, and how do we find the area of a square? We just normally go length times width. All right, so if we have a look here, we can say this is length if we want. We know this is 8 centimeters as well, so we could call that the width. Because it's a square, they have the same length and width. And here, they gave us the height of the triangle. They were quite nice, and they did that. So if we go and type in everything we know, we could just go a 4 times a half times the base of the triangle, which was 8, and the height of the triangle, which is 6. So they're my 4 triangle sides, plus I add the base on the bottom, which is length times width, which is 8 times 8. Okay, so you pop that into your calculator, and they didn't tell me any decimal places, but when you get that, you get a whole number, and that's probably why they forgot. So we'll put 160 centimeters squared. So what you're really trying to do is you're really trying to break it up. So if you think about it, if we flatten that out, say I cut it up here, I split it open, wouldn't we have, we'd have these 4 triangles out like that, wouldn't we? Yeah? That would be the net diagram of this pyramid. It's a bit bad. But if you just break up the faces, you should be okay. Okay, so with this one, the total surface area, this one is, you just need to know you've got a sphere, which is a ball, and on the back of your formula sheet, you'll see total surface area of a sphere is 4 times pi times r squared, okay? Which you can just write as, they might just write 4r squared. So that's a whole area, outside area of a ball. If you have a ball, that's what you're going to do. So if you look at this example here, we know the radius. So remember, the radius has just got to be from the center to an edge of a circle, which it is. So we go 4 times pi times the radius squared. So you type that bit into your calculator. So you're just typing this into your calculator and you'll get a number, and we get 314. Now, did it say 2 decimal places? So 14.16 I get millimeters squared. Okay, so what I'm going to do is give an example of, sometimes we can get, it might say, find the surface, or I'm going to say outer surface again. So the outer surface, oh my god, I can't spell, sorry. Outer surface of, I'm just going to call it a salad, of a salad bowl, which is half a sphere. So what you've actually got there is, we've got this, so we've got this bowl here, and we're saying it's half a sphere. So really all we want is just this bit here, the outest thing. So when you only want half of it, we'd say the total surface area there for this one would be, you just do a half. Now, because you only want half the sphere, do the half of the formula for a full one, which is 4 times pi times r squared. Okay, so that's all you have to do. If we'd tell you what the radius is, we might say the radius, let's make it one up, I'm going to say is 2 centimeters. No, actually, I might say 20 centimeters, more realistic. I don't want to be confusing because we said it was a salad bowl. All right, so let's make it 20 centimeters, that radius. So here I would be going a half times 4 times pi times 20 squared. And you type that in. Okay, so we did that. I'm just going to go to the nearest whole number. So I got 2,513, and I said centimeters, so it's centimeters squared. So the outside surface area of that bowl in centimeters squared is that. What the other one you just need to be careful of, so we'll just do another one. You know, say if we had, they might say, find the surface area of a solid chocolate, sorry, I'm going to say solid chocolate that is in the shape of half a sphere, or I'm going to say hemisphere because that's what half a sphere is, in the shape of a hemisphere, yeah, with radius, and I say 5 millimeters. Okay, so we've got a chocolate now, so we're going to say like it's half a sphere there. What we have to remember, when it's a solid object, the surface area is, we're going to actually have the base bit. Oh, sorry. Yep, sorry. we're going to have this base, which is a circle, isn't it? And then you're going to have half the sphere, which is that curved bit on the outside. But remember, this is a solid object, so we've got to have that base. So when we find the total surface area of this one, we're going to say total surface area is going to equal the circle base plus the hemisphere, which is half a sphere. Hemisphere means half a full sphere. So if we were writing that formula out, a circle base is pi r squared, and half a hemisphere will just go half times our sphere formula. What's our sphere formula? 4 times pi times r squared. And then you can just type all the numbers in for this example. So it'd be pi times 5 squared, because that's what I said the radius was, times 4 times pi times 5 squared.